EQ Constructions collapses. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of, well, ice-cold water for me at the moment. It's pretty hot in Queensland right now. We've got a lovely heat wave going on. Perfect time to be working on your construction jobs. But, well, we've got another builder that's joined the ranks of those falling as part of the construction apocalypse, everyone. Now, before we have a look at this article, and thanks to the viewer who emailed it to me, I did actually miss it. Let's remind ourselves a few things. The construction apocalypse has been going on for some time now. And, well, if you have a look at the playlist on the channel, it is continually growing. But this isn't just magic. It didn't just happen out of nowhere. Our government came to the rescue. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I want to be a broken record because we need to remind people of what our government did. Because they're going to forget it. Most of them are going to forget it. Now, they intervened in our entire economy, restricted our freedoms. They limited how much people could work on construction sites. I remember in Victoria where they could only have a certain number of people on a site when you're working outdoors. You know, brilliant geniuses they were, but, well, we're paying the consequences for all of this. They kept the zombie companies alive, guys. Now, this is the one that scared the shit out of me more than anything else. Okay? It really did. Because I'm a small business person. When you provide services to other businesses, you expect to get paid. And it sucks when you don't. Now, for me, if I don't get paid, I've been stiffed twice. Twice in my years of running a business. And I think it was once a restaurant, they owed us about 10 grand, and another one was a developer that owed us about 15 grand. That's what we've been stiffed on over all the times in our business. Not the worst. Could be a lot worse. There's been others that have taken a long time to pay, you know, really had to chase them and all the bullshit and jumping through the hoops. But, you know, that's part of the game, unfortunately. But that's the thing. You know, what if you're a subby? I mean, an architect, my costs are what? The software, rent, staff, not getting paid can really hurt, but it's not as bad as funding a whole lot of, you know, equipment that you're installing in someone else's premises and not getting paid. So, yeah. This is why I did not like the fact that they kept the zombie companies alive. Because once you get in this feedback loop of just happening, okay, this project we're running negative out, but the next one, boys, the next one, it'll be good. It'll keep the money coming in to keep the machine going. So rather than making some drastic actions, maybe firing some staff, maybe cutting back, maybe shutting down the business, people kick the can down the road and keep going. But a business doesn't have the magic power of the government to, you know, an enslaved tax base to just hoover money out of forever. So reality catches up. We can see, you know, companies entering external administration. Well, they're going back to reality. Now, we've also got the fact that the market has been completely juiced. You've got the cash rate, which was at 0.1%, and now we're at the emergency level, 3%. Room for them to go down if they need to. Some viewers think it'll head up to 5-6%. Boy, can you imagine the media laying into the RBA if that happened? You've got Home Builder, which juiced up the housing market, we can see here, and that's what's caused most of this damage. Home Builder combined with fixed price contracts and inflation. That's what it is. You've got inflation because of supply issues and labor issues. You just can't get people. I was ringing up a concreter the other day, you know, and he's saying it's taking weeks to get a concrete truck because we want to get our garage slab done nicely, not the beams you're never going to see under the ground, which we're doing ourselves. Although they're not looking too bad. I'm getting better at it, but I don't want to be a concreter. So there's just delays. Everything's taking a long time. You've got the first home builder grants, you know, up to 88 grand when you combined it in WA with all these other handouts. You've got shared equity now. I don't like shared equity. It's way too socialist for me, but that's what we're going. This is what our governments are proposing to try and address housing affordability. It's not going to address it. Just having the state own a portion of people's houses. How does anyone think that's going to make housing more affordable? You've got the 5% and 2% government loan guarantees. The 2% loans for single parents. I understand why people want to jump in on a house, but if you're struggling to save a deposit, which I know is really hard, but now this is why we have sob stories on Reddit of people desperate, single parents desperate, because they can't afford it as rates are going up. Negative gearing is just a part of our culture. That's our state religion. It's never going to change. And superannuation withdrawals. I don't blame people for taking the super and using it to get into a house. I completely understand. 100% understand. So yeah. And then you've got, you know, the not in my backyard crowd causing issues here in, well, housing supply, everyone. So there's a whole lot of issues that are coming together, and we're seeing all of these builders going bust, and now we have another one. We can't forget what led us down this path. This isn't a surprise. This is not a surprise. So, a major New South Wales luxury apartment builder, EQ Constructions, collapses owing up to $50 million. And honestly, I don't think any of this is going to change. I don't think government intervening and using housing, regardless of who you vote for, is ever going to change in Australia. There needs to be a real drastic cultural shift. I don't know. I don't know if I could see it. Maybe I'm too old. There's no relief in sight for the construction industry, with a company in the luxury apartment space going under, leaving 40 jobs and various projects at risk. $50 million. The problem with this is you got all the people who are owed the money. How many subbies are going to get burned by this? A major apartment developer in New South Wales has collapsed, owing at least 40 to 50 million, with the construction industry continuing to be impacted by a crisis that has been playing out last year. EQ Constructions, which was responsible for a number of large projects, and I couldn't find their website or their LinkedIn page. I don't know if they've shut it down. Including high-rise apartments and luxury apartment blocks, went into administration earlier this month. Sharmit Banerjee from Westburn Advisory has been appointed to handle the administration and told news.com.au there were between 400 to 500 creditors owed money, while there are also current projects in various stages of completion. I mean, when I read these articles about these builders going under, these projects going under, I think of the subbies that are, you know, probably small family businesses, might be waiting for this invoice to come in to pay their bills, to pay their team. Or maybe they've had to pull money out of their savings, pull money out of their mortgage, their offset account, to keep their business going. I mean, I can relate to that because I've been in that situation where just invoices haven't been paid and you've got to pull some money to keep the machine running because it's such a significant delay. And builders will play these games, intentionally or not. It's frustrating. It really is. That's part of the reason why I went, doing the YouTubing, and people bitch and moan about, oh no, YouTube demonetized a video, so I'm not getting any revenue there. I'm just laughing. Honestly, I'm just laughing. It's nothing compared to the stress of having huge amounts of money overdue and you got to keep the shop running. It's all fun and games, guys. It is. And that's the reason why you want to have a diversity of clients. That's what got me really worried when we were doing a whole lot of mining work. We'd have 80 to 90% of our revenue just coming in from this one client, just pumping us full of work. And I wouldn't say no to anything, because you don't. You want to keep going. But I was getting out there trying to open any other doors to keep another stream coming in if that sector dried up. And that's the challenge. That really is the challenge. So there are ongoing projects, and these are at different stages. Some are at defects liability period, some halfway through. So it's a mixed bag, he said. There's quite a major project in Boral. There's a large apartment block in Parramatta, and the rest are scattered throughout New South Wales. The director is looking to restructure the company and offer a deed of company arrangement, and no staff have been laid off. There are approximately 40-odd staff. Hopefully they can sort it out. Hopefully they can power through. You'd hope so. The company, which had been in operation for more than 5 years, have been impacted by historical factors, he said. Based on what I know, there's a lot of historical events where they haven't recovered from the impacts of COVID, incremental weather, and the shutdown during COVID had an impact on their revenue stream. So that is a large portion of the issues. So this is, what am I saying, guys? The trading while insolvent. It takes years to manifest. These projects are big. They take a lot of time. No, who's a winner of this? No one's a winner of this. The company is getting restructured. The owners are going to get hammered. Tradies will be stressed. No one, the owners of the buildings that these guys built are going to be stressed. No one is going to be happy. This is what happened. This is the consequence of all of the government intervention. Okay, this is not surprising. We were trying to work extremely hard to ensure that everyone keeps their jobs and employees receive the highest possible return. EQ Construction's website and Facebook account currently appear to be unavailable. Back in 2018, the company, which is also known as EQ Projects, reportedly won the rights to build a $600 million residential development in Sydney's inner city suburb of Zetlands to construct hundreds of apartments. It's the second construction company to collapse this month after award-winning residential builder Delco Building Group in Victoria went under, owing $780,000 to 50 creditors. It also emerged in January that 2 more construction companies in WA are down due to labour shortages. Yes, and we've seen all of this, all of the issues here. But there's never in any of these articles is there a discussion or mention of the fact that the government overheated this sector. Never. Anyway, let's talk about this. Oh well, another one bites the dust. I can't say that I'm surprised. It's sad and frustrating that this is happening. Are we going to learn the lessons that we need to learn from this? That's the question I put to you. Anyway, guys, if you're in the building game, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread it wide and lower your costs. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy my content and want to see more, check out Heise BIM or Heise Does. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can financially on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode of Heise Says. Hopefully it won't be so bloody hot. Maybe I should get air conditioning. Nah, that's a luxury. I don't need that. I got a fan. I really have turned into my father. You don't need that. That's too expensive.